So guys, let's see the next features that we have in Power Query. We have next is refresh. So how refresh work is, if you do any changes to your source data, like for example, if I change this null to some name, like my own name, I'm just adding it here, and I'm adding some random name that is okay, and do Control S. So if you go back to the data and now refresh, you will see the changes is appearing here. It pulled all the changes that have happened to the source data. So refresh is something which will help you to keep your data up to date with and in sync with your original data, right? Now next function or option that we have is properties. Properties is the property of this query table. You can change the name of the table and you can add description if needed, so that you would know, or you can refer it in future if you want to know why this table was even created. And the rest, this checkboxes, you should keep it checked, because this will help in loading the data as well as refreshing. If you remove it, it will not properly load and refresh. So make sure it is checked always. Next is advanced editor. So advanced editor, you would see that it's M code. It's kind of programming language, which if someone knows, they can just change it and it will change the table or the reports data by changing the M language or M code over here. So as I said, if somebody knows this language, they can easily just update the code over here and the changes will reflect in the table. But for now, this is not in the purview of this course as it is a little bit advanced. So we'll skip it. And next one is manage. So in manage, there's delete, duplicate, reference. We will check the delete later. First, let's understand the duplicate. So if you duplicate the original data or report, it gets duplicated as it is, exact copy. Usually I use duplicate to make sure that I'm archiving the original data, and if I want to do any changes in the original data, I would do it. But then if I want to go back and want the original data, I will have it as archive, right? So that is the reason I usually duplicate the main data. Next is a reference. If I hit reference, it will also kind of copy the original data, but if you would have noticed, it will start, it doesn't have the applied steps that the original data has, right? It directly starts as source, because the source for this particular report is your original data. But in the case of duplicate, it will exactly copy it even with the steps, and it's a standalone one. Why I would say that is because if I do any changes, like for example, if I do changes in the original data, that is removing order ID from here, you can see that the duplicate one will have all the columns intact. It doesn't change anything because it's standalone, as I said. But in the reference data, it has removed the order ID column, right? That is this column. So the reference data and the original data that we had, which with the help of which we referenced it, and has the same thing. So whatever changes you do here, it will reflect here. So that's what a reference is.